Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Super Sunday as it's billed. It is the 27th of July. It is the Gold Cup race meeting featuring all feature races on the day. It's a whirlpool race meeting, lots of carryovers. We'll touch on that during the course of the show. I trust that you, the valued racing fan, is well, working alongside Royal Rudder Krishna. Let's get straight into it. Race number one, and we got an interview package.
Yeah, we obviously wish Michelle all the very best for his future endeavours. I Salute You is in very good form. He's a fit, happy horse heading in. The one draw and the services of Richard Fourie are going to play very much in his favour. If he runs to the best of his form, he certainly should be involved.
Yeah, Teflon Man, I'm running him over 1600 metres for the first time. I had him in the Mercury, but at weight for age for 104, he wasn't going to make the cut, and he was way out of the weights. And you run fifth in a race like that, you could land on going from a 104 to 215. So we stayed out of that and try him over a mile. So it's a bit of a question mark, but he's doing very well back home. Every time he's won at Kenilworth over 1200 metres, he's doing his best work at the finish. Same as Greyville when he won, won his first start here for the season. But he's doing well, and just got to get him to switch off and relax. But it's all good with him.
Yes, he's returning from an extended layoff. He strained a tendon mildly in his last race here on July Day last year. We've given him every opportunity to get over it. He spent the best part of 6 months at Mike Stewart's place in Nordic, letting nature take care of his injury. He's come back in very good order. Obviously the mile is not his ideal trip, and he is drawn a bit deep. But in saying that, his first run in this country was in the King's Cup, where he ran fourth to a horse called Former Gear. So his mile form is not all that bad. But I do think he'll need the outing.
Okay, thanks to the guys for their comments with their respective runners. And at the time of recording, I will tell you that the penetrometer reading is at 25. The track condition is good to soft. And the false trail, take note of this, very important. Races 1 through to 6 is 7.5 meters, and then races 7 through to 10 as we get to the business end and the latter part of the race meeting. That false trail will be moved, the spur will be moved to 2 meters. Race number one, we bring up the betting as a guide as we have a look at the field. And in race number one, this is how it looks when it comes to the betting. So we got horse number one, Salute You, or I Salute You, at 33 to 10. There is lots of money for number two, Winter Games, Anti-Post, 5 to 1 into 33 to 10. 3 Guy Gibson is at 6 to 1. Another horse in single figures is number 7, Bus Stop in Hounslow. That's trading at 4 to 1. And it's basically double figures, the balance. So let's kick things off here. Royal race number one. I'm going to follow the form line of Zeitz between number 1, I Salute You, and 3 Winter Games. Of course, we understand and know that the draw swing around will favor number 2, Winter Games. Plenty of talk about. Had a chat with Tristan Godden, Craig Udy during the course of the week. They're very upbeat about their chances here about number 2, Winter Games. I respect number 1, I Salute You. Bus Stop in Hounslow has a fantastic record with Pierre Stradum. Imalenza Yoko Duduma can make a case for. But I'm going to tip them 2 Winter Games to beat 1, I Salute You, and 7 Bus Stop in Hounslow. But I really like the money and the confidence in the betting market with number 2, Winter Games.
Yeah, I like the 2 also as well. I like the manner in which he finished off his race last time out, as you mentioned, from a deep draw. He's now drawing gate number 2, and he's a horse that can certainly turn it on in good style over the final 400. The distance is no issue. He's been holding some solid form, and with 54 kgs on the back, this horse is going to be a massive, massive player for top honours. He's a horse that has always shown them plenty of ability back at home. I think he's been a bit of an underachiever, being only a 3-time winner, but he's come well. He's ideally drawn, and he should go close. So, like you, he's also going to be my top choice, followed by number 1, I Salute You, and he's drawn in gate number 1. We heard there from Peter Muscat. He should be involved if he runs to the best of his form, and he beats a look at 3 starts back behind him in the 1900, 2 starts back, and then last time out, I thought a fair run in that 4th position. Narina Tragon, obviously on jockey arrangements, appears to be the second elect from the yard, but he's a horse that is more than capable on his day. He will need plenty of luck from that deep draw, but if the speed is on, expect him to be doing his best work at the finish. And he's a horse to include into trifectas and quartets. And just one more horse that I want to touch on, Deez, and get your thoughts on is number 14, Danny, because if this horse had a draw, I think he'd be a massive play. If you have a look at some of his form lines, he's ideally weighted in this contest. He does return off a rest, but he's a horse that can run well after a layoff. The distance seems to be suiting him quite nicely of late. Third in the Christmas handicap, third to Winter Games, who he is favourably better off at the weight with, and then third to Underworld. So it's just a draw that puts me off, but I think he's a horse that I wouldn't be surprised to see him involved for trifectas and quartets.
Yeah, for the minor positions, number 14, Diani, on a line through Winter Games, and the weight turnaround, he certainly comes into the race to possibly earn a stake check. But I think number 1, I Salute You, and number 2, Winter Games, therein lies the key to the outcome of race number 1, and we in the camp of number 2, Winter Games, going with the anti-post betting support and the confidence that's coming through from the yard.
Race number 2, this is the first of our graded races on the day. It is a Whirlpool with Racecourse Debutant, grade 2 over 1200 meters. 12:55 is the off time, and it is the start of the bipot. The second race, we've got an interview.
Yeah, Princess of Gaul was very impressive in her first start at Scottsville over, I think it was 1100 meters, and she duly won by 9-10 lengths. What she beat, I don't know. It wasn't a particularly strong race, but she couldn't do more than that. And run could only have brought her on. She's drawn one, big advantage of Greyville. And unless she runs green and gets lost the first time, which can happen. But she seems to be a very sensible filly. It is a big step from the maidens up into the graded class. But it's like basically going into a nursery. But there are a few that got more experience than her. But she's doing well, and it'll be a good test for her. Yeah, Kakinov form's very, very good, very solid. She won her first start, also about 4 or 5 lengths, 6 lengths first start at Scottsville. Next run was in a good run, but the conditions were great that day. Then I ran her in the Alan Robertson, where she ran a terrific race. She ran 4th in the Group 1, doing her best work at the finish. And I remember Sean Beale saying that she's looking for 1400 meters. We did run over 1400 meters, but it was a bad draw. And he had to swing for home way out of his ground. Made up a lot of ground. I think another stride she runs 4th. I had in both. I had in the 1600 meter for 2-year-olds, and I had in the 1200. But she drew so badly in the 1600 that I decided to go for the 1200, and she's drawn 8. But she's a filly you got to respect.
Yeah. Thanks to Dean Canamea for his comments there. Princess of Gaul of interest here. There's been lots and lots of anti-post support for this daughter of Vercingetrix. 2-1, down 12-10. Number 6, Elegantrix, another filly that's been subject to support. 4-1 into 28-10. And then it is 7-1 about 3 Mystical Miss. Kokonov, number 8. 10-1 and better about the balance. You can scratch number 12, Smart Star. It's a field of 11 that remain for this year's renewal of the debutant over 1200 meters. D's number 6, Elegantrix. She's got to pick off the form in this race. Last time out, she ran well up to a point, and then with all the interference that went on, Gavin Lerena sort of just took it easy on over the final stages of the race, and rightly so. Hampered at the 300, reported short as well. I'm glad to see this filly back down in trip to 1200 meters, second to Direct Hit. And Kokonov shouldn't be too far off on that run in the Alan Robertson. She was 0.4 lengths behind her. So I think it makes for quite an interesting race. And then you've got the one horse who romped home to victory and couldn't be more impressive.
Yeah, it's a race where, these trainers would have had options on where to run their horses with all these feature races on offer. And you heard it from Dean Canamea about number 8, Kokonov. He's elected to go 1200 instead of 1600. And he's got a strong hand with numbers 1 and 8. But Princess of Gold, she couldn't have been more impressive than she was. The anti-post money speaks volumes. She is a half-sister to a very useful sort in Kabeja, the 6-time winning sprinter called King Dundee. I like her pedigree. I like the way she handled herself first up at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I'm also in the camp of Dean Canamea. The draw is a massive plus going around the turn for the first time. If she handles it, she gets on the right leg, turning to the straight, I think she'll be a big runner. winner, maybe the right horse in the race. If the weight of money anti-post is anything to go by, she's the right horse. 3 Mystical Miss. The worrying drift in the betting market is a concern for me, because when you pull out a form line, you'll be wowed by it. 2 direct winners, 5 subsequent winners. Versace on the track has since gone back to back. Serengeti's Son was all the rage. Garrett Van Zyl had 6 winners on the day. This was one of his 6. He liked this horse as his best runner on the day, and she's well related to African Skyline. Elegantrix, well, she's been running against the best of her generation. And Kokonov, you heard it from Dean on his thoughts on that runner. So in the leg 1 of the bipod, initially when I opened up the card, I thought Elegantrix hard to beat against what she's been racing and what she faces here. But then Princess of Gold throws her name in the hat. Mystical Miss, Kokonov, Serengeti's Son. I think the list can go on. It looks like a race where you'll do well to get through with the minimum spend. But if I'm pushed for a first choice, it will be Elegantrix.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Elegantrix, certainly the one on when it comes to the form. So these sort of 2-3 numbers bipod.
Yeah, you know, for the bipod, the obvious inclusion is number 1. So if you want to try and get through with the minimum spend, I'll go 6-1. Number 3 was always going to be my horse. That's going to be part of the play in the top 3 selections. But their drift is a worry, so likely to possibly be in need of the run. But I'll keep an eye on the race time money. But 6-1, good enough for the bipod.
Yeah, that's 6-1 for D's in race number 2. And then I think number 8, Kokonov, could be worth an inclusion. So that's the second race on the card.
We're on to race number 3. It's the start of the place accumulator. You need to get on the tote by 13:45, and it's over 1,200 meters. Before we touch into some betting and some form, let's go to a rerun and an interview.
But Military Command quickly moves in. Now Tin Pan Alley's trying to run on. Chronicle King, they come together. Malmesbury Missiles burning towards the inside. Malmesbury Missiles coming at Military Command the last 100. Chronicle King still right there. Tin Pan Alley. Chronicle King, though, digs down deep, and he's reaching for the stars. From in second, Malmesbury Missile, as they go past the line.
Yeah, Aristocratic, also impressive winner of his first start. And then his next race was on July Day, the feature race for 2-year-olds. Very rough race. It was those 2-year-old races were very rough, and it does happen in those 2-year-old races on July Day and Gold Cup Day. He left the gates. He was bold, and then he was badly taken out. After travelling about 400 metres, he was badly taken out, clipped, and he had to pull out of the race. He was sitting about 3rd last. But it was rough, and he finished his race off very strongly to run 4th. It was a good run. I brought him down from a 14 to a 1200. I think he could get away with it, as long as it all goes well. And he's quite a tricky horse at the starting gates, as long as he jumps well and he's in a comfortable position. On his last performance, he's got to be a big runner.
Well, let's get into place accumulator numbers here over this 1,200 meter trip. But before we have a look at that, let's have a look at some betting as we bring up the field. Number 1, Rachel Well, that's at 9-2. 2, Titan of the Turf at 6-1. Then we go to number 4, Zalatoris. That's trading at 9-2. The money and some early money for number 5, that is Aristocratic. That has shortened in from 18-10 into 15-10. Horse number 8, Shadow Facts, also money 7-1 into 5-1. It's double figures, the balance. I really like the look of one horse here, and that's Sean Terry's runner, number 8, Shadow Facts, with Richard Fourie, who remains unbeaten on the Son of One World. Considering the 1,400 meter race last time out behind Jan van Gooyen, I think 1,200 meters at this stage of his career, he is deadly over. So that's going to be my top choice, number 8, Shadow Facts. Looking at the balance of the runners, I must say that Tony Peters has got a lot of luck with these 3 runners. He's drawn 1, 2, and 3. Of these 3 runners, I'm going to be in the camp of number 2, Titan of the Turf. Aristocratic, I think Dean Kannemeyer, we need not elaborate on what he mentioned there. He said it all about his runner and how rough that race was and the interference that his horse was caused. So that horse dropping back to a 1,200. Another calculated move. Dean could have gone for the 1,600 meter race. One has to respect his judgments. And then Zalatoris, I think, does bring some good form into the race. Going to take a big chance here, Ryan. I'm going to go all in banker, leg 1, PA, number 8, Shadow Facts. And personally, I thought 7-1 was generous.
Yeah, Dees, I think in the 5-horse aristocratic, I'm in opposite camps here. I think he's the horse that they all need to beat. We're there from Dean Canamere, and he did draw wide as well in the 1600 meter race, so he's decided to take his chances here from a good draw. The speed is going to be on with the 3 horses on his inside that show a lot of speed from the Tony Peter yard. Mighty Zambezi goes forward as well, so I think the race will be run to suit him as long as he's in a good rhythm and not too far off the action. I think he'll be able to mow them down over the final stages of the race. He's a horse that just seems to be going about his business in the right way, so I think he's the one to beat. I'm going to take a chance at banking him in leg 1 of the PA. Zalatoris, I think 1600 meters a touch too far at this point in his career. He was just run out of it last time out. I think back to the 12 will suit him ideally. He's going to be the second choice. And then number 8, Shadow Facts, healthy respect for him with Furi back in the iron. So 5, 4, 8 is how I'm going to tip them, but I like the 5 horse here and you like the 8.
So 2 runners could be the play in leg 1 of the PA.
Race number 4, we're on to our grade 1s on the day. This is a Douglas White Stakes. 1600 meters is the distance. It is the start of the pick 6 as well. We've got a 1 million rand carryover in that pick 6 and a likely pool of 10 million rand. 14.35 the off time. We've got a rerun.
But here's Golden Palm, struck the front, Silver City's on the outside, further back Fiery Countess, but it's Golden Palm with 100 metres left to go from Fiery Countess, and she's home and hosed. Golden Palm has won it by about 7, 8 lengths and continues to extend. Second placing, who will get second? Silver City from Royal City Girl. Then
well, Golden Palm was ultra impressive last time out when beating Silver City by 10 lengths on the day. She's drawn the ace. She's having a first start in KZN, gone up at least to the Highveld. Success there in the nursery, beating One Fine Winter, who she meets once again. Yeah, she is all the rage. She's trading at 4 to 10 in the market. Number 3, One Fine Winter at 5 to 2. It is double figure odds about the balance. Number 7, Draw Dash is out. It's a field of 11 runners that remain. These, we've spoken about this race before. The 1 horse Golden Palm all in here, but the value in the race, number 4, Tina Lovelace.
That could be the case. I think we're just going to continue with the domination of this category by Alan Krief throughout the country. His military position in executing his plan, and I'm told that this is the best to come. Number 1, Golden Palm. So if this is the best to come, so Alan Krief is going to reel off something that is unheard of in racing, a domination of this category, as I mentioned, throughout the country. So Golden Palm, hard to beat. We're going to go with the talk. We're going to go with the betting support. We're going to go with the betting market. Yeah. If I look for value in the race, for exactas and trifectas and possible cover in the pick 6, then numbers 2, 3, and 4 will get my vote. But I agree that number 4, Tina Lovelace, the draw swing around and the way she ran last time out, she could be the right horse for those trifectas and quartets. And then Wendy Whitehead's runner, number 12, Limited Sky, will need some luck from that draw, but she did punch above her weight last time out. I really liked the way she raced. In fact, the last 2 races in the Allen Robinson and the Golden Horse, the Golden Slipper, were good runs, so she'll have to go into trifectas and quartets. But it's all about structure, taking a stance, and I think the majority of the tickets in leg 1 of this carryover pick 6 will be on number 1, Golden Palm. If you're looking for cover, you're playing against the grain, and you're looking for a result, best of luck, but I'm going to go with the minimum spend here. 1 runner in leg 1, number 1.
Yeah, it appears to be that way. Number 1, Golden Palm, all in at 4 to 10. You're looking for a bit of a result. Well, then number 4, Tina Lovelace, and these mentioned the 12 horse Limitless Sky. Will need a bit of luck from that gate, but at 20 to 1 could be worth an inclusion with the 4 horse at 16 to 1. But that's race number 4, Golden Palm, to perhaps get that first grade 1 success.
Our jackpot 1 will be at 15.15, and now we begin a group 1 over 1600 meters, and this is the Champion Stakes. Of course, the Douglas White Stakes was also a group 1, so it's the second of our group 1s on the day. And let's go to our package.
But Military Command quickly moves in. Now Tin Pan Alley's trying to run on. Chronicle King, they come together. Mulsbury Missiles burning towards the inside. Mulsbury Missiles coming at Military Command the last 100. Chronicle King still right there. Tin Pan Alley. Chronicle King though digs down deep and he's reaching for the stars. From in second, Mulsbury Missiles.
Yeah, Count of Ruin is a potentially high quality colt. He had very little luck in his last run on July Day. He was drawn very deep. He got trapped wide, and just as he was starting to wind up, sort of going through about the 300, he got shut down completely. Turned sideways, still picked himself up off the canvas and still ran to the line. Obviously, different situation on Sunday. He steps up to a mile, which is very much in his favour. He does appear to be a horse that will probably go 1.25 miles in time. The ideal draw will see him get a much better run in transit. He's fit, well, happy, and I'm obviously hoping he can turn the form around with the horses that finished in front of him at his last start. But the conditions of the race and where he's positioned obviously make that far more likely than it was from the outside gate. So we expect a very positive performance from him.
A lot of food for thought there from Peter Muscat, and we all agree that there is going to be form reversals due to the hard luck stories that happen in the race, and there are a number of them, and there are other horses that had clear passages. So how the race is going to work out this time round, we'll know on Sunday. Let's have a look at the betting as a guide. We begin with the number 3, Jan van Gooyen, at 7-1. Then number 4, Chronicle King, is also at 7-1. Number 7, Tin Pan Alley, has been a subject of a lot of betting support, from 3-1, now 22-10. Then we go on to number 10, Malmesbury Missile, also trading at 22-10, and in double figures the balance. So we don't want to labor the point on what happened last time out in that golden horseshoe. We all seen the replay, we all watched the race. The hard luck stories are numerous. Whether or not Chronicle King can hold his position and hold that form line, this race will tell us a bit more as it goes over 200 meters further for most of them. But I think Count of Ruin, Peter Muscat summed it up nicely on the way he assessed the race and what he's expecting on the day. That could be huge value. One, Soldier Boy, on the other hand, has got a proper draw swing around, but he had a clear passage on the inside of the track. He wasn't part of that interference. Jan van Gooyen is a horse that's highly rated. Chronicle King, what a super win from him last time out. And the betting doesn't tell the story of what the connections were expecting on the day. Tin Pan Alley, he's also had hard luck stories. And a horse like King Herald is the horse that I've picked out as a big roughie in the race. And then Malmesbury Missile, he just continues to impress each time he comes to the racetrack. So it is a race I'm sure racing fans are going to play wide in Jackpot 1 or the Pick 6. Unless you're convinced that you like 1 or 2 horses and you're not going more than that, I would suspect that most of the majority will be playing it wide here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think you'll be able to get through the limited spend here in race number 5. Malmesbury Missile going to be the top choice for me. He's a horse that I think has been crying out for this 1600 meter trip. I think he's had the ideal prep heading into the race. He's got an awkward draw to contend with, but he's a horse that can certainly turn it on. He'll be at peak fitness for this outing, and I think a big run is on the cards. Number 2, Count of Ruin. You touched on him. He's obviously quite a bit of value in this race at 12-1. He opened up at around 20. There's been a bit of support for him as well, and he should be in the mix. Jan van Gooyen, I think he's a horse that we've got to give healthy respect to. He hasn't run against anything of this quality yet, but he's a horse that, as Deez alluded to, is highly thought of from gate number 3. Ideally drawn. He's been around the turn. The step up in trip will suit him down to the ground, and he's such a good-looking son of Master of My Fate. I think he's going to put in a huge effort. I'm going to make him the second choice from the 2, and then the 4 is Chronicle King. Soldier Boy, that run behind Ralph the Rascal just sticks at the back of my head. How can a horse run so well last time out, but his penultimate effort in a Class 5 against Ralph the Rascal, he couldn't pitch up. So I'd like to see him confirm that latest effort. I think quartet chance at best for number 1, Soldier Boy, but I think it's certainly going to be a fascinating race, these.
Very difficult to judge a horse in open company with a claim for carrying a big weight behind Ralph the Rascal, so I'll forgive him for that run. And I don't think it was the ideal race chosen by the Mike Miller stable. Against his own age group, he seems to have been holding his own, and we know what he did last time out. So, in race number 5, you're going to have to be the judge on how many horses you're going to be playing it. But I personally think that Peter Muscat summed it up beautifully with the way the race was run, what he's expecting from his horse, and that could be a nice each-way play up in number 2, Count of Ruin. But the race doesn't stop there, and hopefully you can narrow things down.
On to race number 6 we go. This is the Mercury Sprint, Grade 1 over 1200 meters. 15:55 is the off time, and we've got a couple of interviews.
Yeah, listen, he came out of the post merchants really well, and he's done well since. He's no issues, and I think he might even come on. So he's doing really well at home, and off a nice draw, he should be competitive. He's well in it, being weight for age. He's better off with a few, but worse off with a couple others. But like I say, he's come on at home, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's been a revelation for Bass Racing in his recent starts, Warren. His record speaks for himself. Andrew's ridden him his last 3 starts, and his form is really quite strong. He's going into the race in very good nick. His last run was in the Golden Horse when he won, and they opted not to run him in the post merchants because of the weight conditions, and decided to go for the Grade 1, the weight for age. Unfortunately, he's drawn deep, and there's no easy Grade 1 races. They're all very hard. But I think if you had to put a line through him and a couple of other horses and the natural improvement that he's shown me at home, he's got to be one of the major contenders, albeit from a deep draw. Aldo knows him very well, and Aldo is one of the best jockeys around, and I think he will be one of the main contenders. So we're going out with high hopes with him. He's shown his work this morning was very, very good, I must say, and he's in a very good space.
Yep, thanks to Terry Fripp for his confidence with number 13, Tenango, who is the current top one, 3-1 into 22-10. And Tenango has been an absolute revelation. He's come well, this horse, the son of Canford Cliffs. Just a few months ago, he was knocking about in the Class 3's B Stakes. He's now competing in a Grade 1, where he is the favourite. D's, when you have a look at this horse's form, his last 7 starts, he's notched up 5 wins with 2 seconds to add to that. So he's come well. He's in a terrific space at the moment. And the way the race could be run to suit him, and it's going to be interesting to see how he goes here. At Hollywoodbets Greyville for the first time, going around the turn, not going to be easy. He will need a lot of luck in running, but he's a horse that will continue to keep one interested.
If you're just going to judge him on his form and what he brings to the table and not consider the track, then you'll make him the horse to beat. But then you have to factor in the draw and the track, and then things become complicated. Just as a betting for the guide for our valued racing fans out there, number 1 Miamu is at 7-1, 4 I Am Giant at 6-1. Number 6 Questioning is at 8-1, 8 William Robertson at 8-1, 9 Buffalo Storm Cody at 6-1, and we got 13 Tenango, who's trading at 5-2. So we've given Tenango his airtime. If he handles the course, I think he is the right horse in the right space at the right time, because the way he continues to impress, I think he could impress us on Sunday as well. But number 6 Questioning, I've got a lot of respect for. I like the fact that he's had 2 runs at the course, has a nice look at the track in the drill hole and the post merchants. Both those runs have been good. He's got a nice draw. He'll have his peak run, 3rd run in the province, 3rd run back from a break. He ticks a lot of boxes for me, number 6 Questioning. Number 1 Miamu, the filly, I think from draw 1 will have the run of the race. She's got an obvious strong winning chance, considering that she's a Group 1 winner, which came at her last start. And then a horse like Cafe Culture, we were on a show with Lucinda Woodruff about her runner. It's always been his aim to possibly win this race. If there was a Group 1 during the season that she thought that she could win, it was with this horse and this race. So it could be a plan that they've executed to a T with number 12, Cafe Culture, because the word is that he's working well. But the race certainly doesn't stop there. But, if I had to give you 4 numbers, it'll be 1, 6, 12, and 13. If I'm pressed for a top choice, it'll be between numbers 6 and 13. But again, another race that I suspect that punters will be on either side of the fence. The minimum spend, less than half the field, or the field.
Yeah, these, I'm going to go 4, 6, 13 and 11 in order of preference. Yeah, I like I Am Giant. I like the way he won his last start. He won better than the margin suggested behind when beating My Sensation. We had to concede 6.5 kgs too. Ideally drawn. He's, as Stuart Ferry mentioned, he's come on with a run under the belt, and a competitive run is expected. Dee's touch on number 6 Question, who will certainly keep you interested. And then 11 and 13, Asiya Pambili. She's a filly that's got a ton of ability, an 8-time winner. She does very well over the sprinting trips, and she's one that will be doing the best work at the finish. And we can't, of course, ignore number 13, Tanango. Dees, if there were to be a joke off the pack, who would it be? Cafe Culture, given his price of 20 to 1?
Yep, that is my top 4 selections, and number 12, Cafe Culture, is an each-way play. That confidence comes through nicely from Lucinda Woodruff. It's not been ideal to run the horse in that 1600 Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge, but she had to find some type of race to keep his fitness ticking over, and this is Maury's game. If he runs to his second behind Gimme a Prince in the Diadem, a massive runner. Well, it is the Whirlpool Gold Cup Group 3 over 3,200 meters, and it'll be now at 16:35, which also will be the start of Jackpot 2. If you don't know, there's 500,000 Rand carried over to the quartet. The estimated pool is 2 million. I'm hoping that we'll get plus by the time we get to race number 7. But before we delve into the field, a rerun.
King Pearls, Future Swing needs some running room. Shoot the Rapids on the inside and the brass, but it's King Pearls has gone clear over the 200, and King Pearls by 2 or 3. Holding Thumb, Shoot the Rapids, but they're going to struggle to get to King Pearls, and this won't get caught. King Pearls has won by about 3 lengths. Holding Thumb's ahead of the Facts, and then came Shoot the Rapids behind that Future Swing.
Tremendous for a horse to turn it on like the way he did over a distance that you require stamina and then you require an acceleration, and he showed both. 10 out of 10 for Garrett Van Zyl, having the horse in tip-top condition to win the Gold Vase. The betting is like so. Number 2, Madison Valley, is at 11 to 2. 4, King Pearls at 14 to 10. Then we go, by the way, the horse opened up 16 to 10. King Pearl, so there is some money about for him as well. Number 10, Bournemouth, that has attracted some nice outside betting support from 16 to 1. Those odds have been slashed in half, 8 to 1. 11, Holding Thumbs at 11 to 2, and it's double figures the balance. Well, it's decision time, racing fans. We can go on for some time if we're going to talk about the entire field. We all had a look at the form. I'm going to go all in with number 4, King Pearls, on what I've seen to date. The fact that Garrett Van Zyl hasn't minced his words after this horse's last win and what he's expecting on the day. Samanga Kumala gets the right tune out of him. He is the horse that is reigning for Equus Champion Stayer if he wins this, and the manner in which he won in that replay tells a story. If you're looking for cover and dangers, number 1, Shoot the Rapids, number 2, Madison Valley, and then horse number 11, Holding Thumbs, who we saw was a clear second best there. But this horse, King Pearls, he's grabbing the attention, he's grabbing our imagination, and I'd really love to see him win this, considering he's a KZN horse as well. But he's a super stayer, and Garrett has done an outstanding job with him. I'm going to give him, close to a 10 out of 10 here when it comes to a banker in the pick 6.
Yeah, easy doddle up last time out to beat Holding Thumbs. I expect that form to stay exactly the same. I expect Holding Thumbs around second here. It was a super impressive win, and he couldn't be more taken that day. And I think this is the right race for him. He's beaten most of these that he takes on once again, so I don't see them turning the form around. And he's a horse that's just in a terrific space at the moment. Gareth gave him a 9 out of 10. Dees is going to give him close to a 10 out of 10 here. So plenty of confidence with the son of Duke of Marmalade, who should love every inch of this 3,200 meter trip. And he's a horse that sets the standard in race number 7. And then numbers 1, 2 and 11, horses that could fill up those exactas, trifectas and quartets. But short and sweet here in race number 7, all in world with horse number 4, King Pals. Race number 8, this is the race of the day. It is the HKJC Champions Cup, Grade 1 over 1800 meters. 5:15 is the off time for this event. We've got a couple of reruns and then some interviews.
300 strikes the front. Running on from behind is the Real Prince. Madison Valley the inside. 8 on 18. The Real Prince is the real deal. And here's the Real Prince coming at 8 on 18. The Real Prince, 8 on 18. Head bobbing duel, short edge to the line. The Real Prince has done it from 8 on 18.
Cafe Culture, behind that Fire and Flames, William Robertson. See it again, got 7 or 8 to go. Dave the King, Cosmic Speed, Oriental Charms fighting back. Dave the King clings to the lead. Cosmic Speed won't go away. Oriental Charms fighting right back in the middle. Dave the King just the leader and Oriental Charm. It's close. I think Dave the King won it from Oriental Charm.
Yeah, the Real Prince, obviously we thrilled coming into win, or came through to win the July for us. It was a very great performance over 2-2. Bringing him back to 1800 meters, I have no problem with that. Took his last run exceptionally well. As I said, we checked him out the next day, went to the stables, he trotted him out, he was sound, cleaned up, didn't look like he had a run. So I've just kept him fresh and kept him ticking over. Tough weight for age race, very different race to the July, these weight for age races. Some very well performed horses there, some hard knockers there that have earned their stripes. But he's drawn one, easy horse to ride. So came through the July flying colours, and let's see, we'll put him to the test in the weight for age race on Saturday. But he's looking good, he's doing well. David the King, you've got to respect horse like Top Horse, a mile, 1800 metre horse. And others, like Royal Victory and a great race in the July. But we're ready, and we're ready to take him on or give him a go.
Yeah, same. Also came out of the July really well. Just that race never panned out nicely for him. They went slowly, and obviously his running style got caught too far back. And but yeah, listen, he's bounced back well. He looks happy. The 18 probably might even suit him better. And let's just hope this time that there's a decent pace.
I'm really happy with the way he's prepared and the amount of racing he's done before Sunday. Obviously Sunday is a massive step up in class and is a true test of his ability, but we're looking forward to it. We've got a nice draw. We think he'll enjoy the mile, and I'd be pretty disappointed if he wasn't competitive.
Well, it's a race that we've got stacked with quality. There's Group 1 winners. You just got to turn over the page and it's Group 1 winners galore in race number 8. Dave the King, he is the defending champ. And let's see if he can defend his crown. He's priced up at 22-10. The Real Prince is the favourite. 5-2 into 18-10, 6-1 Gladiatorian, 7-1 about the pair. See it again and Fire Attack, 8-1 Royal Victory. And then Montine and Son of Raj are 20-1 shots. Number 9 Litigation is a scratch-in. It's a field of 8 runners that remain for the 8th race on the programme. These a race that has been touted to be a match race between the Real Prince and Dave the King. These two going head to head, the Prince versus the King. It's going to be a very, very interesting contest. Dave the King, of course, won it last year when he beat Cousin Casey. Callan Murray aboard, he's unbeaten on him 2 from 2, and he's had an ideal prep heading into this race, the same prep that he had last season. And then when it comes to the horses that ran in the July, it's just a matter of how much of that run take out of them, as it is only just 22 days ago that they did run, whereas Dave the King, it was 50 days ago since he's run in the Gold Challenge. But it makes for a top race.
Yeah, it's a very exciting race. So number 9 Litigation, scratched, 8 runners will go to post. I think the key to the puzzle will be numbers 1, 2 and 7. How much has that race taken out of them, because the Hollywoodbets Durban July winner, doesn't have a record of winning this race. So is it numbers 4 and 5 or numbers 1, 2, and 7? And that is where the outcome to the race lies. But with these equine stars, not just equine athletes, trainers know exactly how to keep them ticking over after hard races. And both, Dean Canamere, so to say, all of Dean Canamere, Stuart Ferry, and Nathan Kotson, they wouldn't be running their horses here if they thought that, it was not for them. Coming through after the Hollywoodbets Durban July run. So one has to respect that. But, the fresh legs belong to numbers 4 and 5 here. Dave the King and See It Again. It may just be a blessing in disguise, chatting to Rachel Vinegar about number 5, See It Again, missing out on the Hollywoodbets Durban July due to, reasons that were given. But this race could be ideal for him now, because he ran in the Drill Stakes, he ran in the Gold Challenge, Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge, and I personally think it could be the proper peak run for him now that he missed out on the July. That could be the saving grace for him. And Rachel was of the opinion that Keegan de Mello will suit the horse as well. So, this horse, See It Again, he's been a bit disappointing for those that have gone for him in the big races. But maybe this could be the race for him to win. And for Dave the King, you saw it in that replay. He's relentless. He doesn't allow other horses to pass him by. It looked like the other two were going to get to him. It looked like Torian may just pass him by, but he was just galloping. He's a horse that grinds all the time, number 4, Dave the King. So, looking at the race, it's decision time here, because, numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, I'm sure will be popular. But you have to take a stance here. I think Dave the King is the right horse in the race. The Real Prince Gladiatorian and See It Again to possibly follow him home. But all 4 runners for me in all the exotics. And then Pierce Stradom is looking to bow out on a high with Royal Victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4, 2, 1, and 5 here. I think Gladiatorian could just turn the form around with the Real Prince just at the weights. With a weight turnaround on that July run, he's 3.5 kgs bet off. He's ideally drawn as well, so I think he'll run a nice race. But I think that Dave the King could certainly defend his crown in race number 8, the HKJC Champions Cup. With Deez and myself, we've got the same numbers here: 1, 2, 4, and 5 in numerical order, and that is race number 8.
On the 9th race is a high-class race for fillies and mares. It's the Gold Bracelet over 2,000 meters. And what do we have? Yeah, well, we have an interview. Terry Fripp.
Yes, having said that, all be said and done, a filly against that caliber of horses. She's only beaten 6 lengths in the July. She was not disgraced. Her penultimate run was in the Will Avington when Andrew rode her, and she was only beaten a length behind Little Susie. Suffered a little bit of interference. I'm not saying she would have won the race, but she probably would have run closer to the checks, 2nd or 3rd. She's done well since the July. She's a light filly, but holds her condition well. She's in a good space. Funny enough, she's drawn 7 as well as she was in the July. But that race, the Gold Bracelet, it's competitive. You can make a case for quite a few of the fillies in the race. She's in a good space, and we expect a very good run from her.
Well, we expect a very good run for her. That is good enough for the followers of Rainbow Lorikeet. The betting is like so. Number 2, Knockout at 8-1. 3, My Soulmate at 7-1. Then we got 7, Rainbow Lorikeet at 28-10. Did open up 7-2. Horse number 11, Little Susie at 5-1, and it's double figures the balance. My markings on my book don't tell a story, because I've got so much of markings here, and after going through each runner and trying to, work it out, I've just come up with, dare I say it, 3 runners for the pick 6. And if I'm going in the pick 6, can you believe it? I'll be hoping with these 3 runners. Number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet. Yeah, Elder, although he's plus a half kg, he knows her like the back of the hand. What a run from her in the July. I didn't give her any chance in the July. I thought she ran well. 7 lengths behind the Real Prince. You can just go to her Cape form lines and you can see she's matched strides with the best of the best. On a form of the Wellavington, which is open to older horses these days, I don't see the 3-year-olds getting, that type of result against her with the weight turnaround. The big danger I make is number 2, Knockout, and you just have to go to the feature down in the Western Cape where she did get the better of Rainbow Lorikeet over that 1800 meter trip, and she got a plum draw of 2. And then My Soulmate from the Candace Dawson stable, the way she's holding her form, I think you cannot discount her chances. So in order of preference, I'm going to go 2, 7, and 3, and those are going to be my 3 numbers in all bets. But number 2, Knockout for me, huge value at 8-1.
I think it's a 2-horse race here. 3 and 7, I think those are the 2 that could fight it out. You just mentioned the 2 Knockout. My Soulmate's incredibly well weighted in this contest with just 57.5. She's weighted to turn the form around with She's a Bomber on that last run that was in the Oaks. She's got a good draw. Calvin Abeb rides her for the first time, and she's a horse that I think has had a very good prep into the race. She's She's 3.5 kgs bet off at the weight with Knockout. I think she'll confirm that form with Knockout as well. So I think that she's going to run a huge race from gate number 3. And then number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet, who comes in with a nice pull at the weight over Little Susie, and she's a kg bet off at the weight with My Soulmate on that run in the Wellavington. She's a filly that stays the trip, no issues at all. She's set to get a nice run in transit. She's third up here in KZN, and I think that she's a horse that will be in the firing line. So 3 and 7 in all bets for me in race number 9.
3 and 7 for Ryan. I like number 2, Knockout, and that's race number 9.
Race number 10, final race on the day. This is set to be around over 1,000 meters. It is the Umgeni Handicap, a listed contest, and we've got a couple of interviews.
She's a small filly, but she's loaded with ability. Her first run up in the province was a really good third behind My Sensation in the poinsettia. I mean, she followed up on her 2-year-old form when she ran a neck and head off behind Quid Pro Quo in Alan Robertson last year. Her run in the SA Filly Sprint, she was drawn on the wrong side of the track. That day it was drawn on the inside, came home with excuses. She's really flying at home. I think 1,000 meters is more up her alley. 2 weeks ago, her and Tanago went to gallop at Greyville, and they saw the course. They galloped on the grass. Thank you to the club for allowing us to do that. And she put up a very good gallop with a stronger horse, and she's going to go into the race ready. I think she'll be one of the horses, albeit running against the boys. Yeah, look, he's had 3 runs up in the province already. His first run at Greyville, he ran a great third over 1,000 behind Ziasha. Also drawn on the wrong side of the course on Golden Horse Day. And then last week he was really impressive with Sean on the poly in the Progress Plate. He's a horse that doesn't take a lot of work, and he had to just have to tick him over. You're going 1,000 meters, you don't have to do much with sprinters. He's in a good space. His work this morning was really solid, and again Aldo's on him, and he'll be given a patient ride. I think he'll probably going to lack for early speed, but he'll be running them down late, and it's not the strongest field. And also again expect a good run. All Candace's horses on the day are going into the race right and ready, and we're expecting good runs from them.
Favourite number 7, Outlaw King, 4-1 into 3-1, 9-2 on offer about number 9, Future Variety. Number 6, Rodeo Drive at 5-1. It's an 8-1 and Better Baldos. Now just having a look at how this race could be set up. There's quite a bit of speed on the inside with numbers 1, 2 and 4 that like to press forward. I think even a Destination is a horse that can go forward, and the race could well be set up for a horse from off the speed. And number 9, Future Variety, D's, he was so impressive last week on the poly track. Yes, it wasn't a strong field. It looked to be a match race with Winds of Change and Future Variety. No penalty for that success. That was a real confidence boosting win for him. From gate number 9, he's going to get back in the run-in, but he's a horse that will be closing off strongly at the business end of things, as we saw him do 3 starts back when finishing a length beyond Ziasha. He's a horse that has had a good prep into the race, and I think he's a big runner. So I'm going to make him my top choice, number 9, Future Variety. The winner of this race last year was number 11, King of the Goals, who jumped from gate number 14 last year with Gavin aboard. He's got 60.5 this year, and he probably hasn't had the same ideal prep as he did have last year, but he's a horse that is very capable on his day.
Very frustrating horse, I'm sure, for the owners and of course for Tony Riverland as well. All the ability in the world, but erratic, and it's either hit or miss with him when he comes to the races. 11, King of the Goals. Yeah, Richard Farina, he's won 3 of 5, so he'll be hoping that the horse he knows comes to the track on the day. As a defending champion, one has to respect him. The more I look at this race, the more I like one horse. And it looks like a quartet that you want to catch, but the more I look at this race, the more Outlaw King just jumps off the page. Many will say it's too short, but Dean Kaname would have had options as well on where he's going to go with this horse during our KZN champion season, and in particular this race meeting as well. Look at the names in his form line. We've been touching of them throughout this preview. Horses like Questioning, Cafe Culture, Tenango, I Am Giant, all of them are in his form lines. He's actually beaten Cafe Culture, be that he was receiving weight from him. Against this type of field, I'm going to respect the judgment of Dean Kaname putting this horse over the minimum trip of 1,000 meters. He would have possibly assessed the conditions of the race and how the speed is going to work out. It's not just running horses for the sake of when it comes to DKR, and I think he's found the right spot for his horse. Speed on, put him to sleep, and hopefully picking them up one by one. I think he's the right horse at the top of the boards. I'm going to go with him as a top choice, number 7, Outlaw King. If you need it most, maybe he could be the horse to get you out of trouble. But once you start looking past horses here, like Outlaw King, like Future Variety, and then it becomes highly complicated. So I'm going to suggest Outlaw King in race number 10. Could be in the right race. Don't be put off by the fact that the 1,000 meters could be on the sharp side for him.
Well, you've got 7 and you've got 9, 2 horses to play around here in race number 10, the final race on the day. These are, just to wrap it up, Golden Palm, King Pals look to be the 2 standout horses on the 10 race program.
Yeah, those are going to be the bankers in the pick 6 I will be playing, and I think load up or try and minimize the spend in the other races. The structure, I think for the many, and I'm not playing against the grain when it comes to those 2 horses, Golden Palm, King Pele's, and hope for the best in the other 4 legs.
Yeah, it seems to be an exciting day's racing here at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Sunday. 10 races to look forward to. All the best.